My wife said, if you can't handle my family's attitude, you can just leave. So I did, and she'll never forget it. It was her brother's birthday dinner, a big family gathering at her parents' house. I'd been dreading it all week. Her family has this talent for turning every meal into a subtle humiliation Olympics, and my wife Claire always sides with them. We walked in, gifts in hand, and her brother Aaron greeted me with his usual smug grin. Hey man, hope you brought your appetite. Claire says you finally learned how to dress like an adult. Everyone laughed. Claire giggled along, patting my arm like I was some obedient pet. Her mother chimed in, so still working that little desk job? Claire tells us she might start earning more than you soon. I smiled politely, trying to keep the peace, but every comment that followed chipped away at my patience. Aaron kept making jabs about my car, my career, my cooking. Her dad even joked, at least Claire didn't marry you for your money, right? Claire didn't say a single word in my defense. Dinner turned tense when Aaron brought out his game. Everyone had to share the funniest story about me. The first few were harmless, then Claire decided to top them. She started talking about the time I messed up the laundry and turned all her white clothes pink. Everyone roared with laughter. She leaned in, adding, honestly, he's useless around the house. I have to handle everything myself. I guess some men just aren't built for responsibility. The laughter this time hurt. Even her father joined in. I looked straight at her and said quietly, that's enough. She smirked. Oh, come on. Can't you take a joke? I replied, not when it's at my expense in front of everyone. That's when she rolled her eyes and said it, loud enough for the whole table to hear. If you can't handle a few harmless jokes, maybe you should just leave. The room went completely silent. Everyone stared at me, waiting for me to lose my temper. Instead, I smiled. You know what, Claire? That's a great idea. I stood up calmly, set down my napkin, and grabbed my car keys. You all enjoy dinner. Claire laughed nervously. Wait, you're not serious. But I didn't answer. I walked straight out the front door, got in my car, and drove off. Here's what she didn't know. The car we'd driven there in, it was hers. Mine was parked a few houses away, and I'd already transferred all my stuff earlier that day, just in case the night went south. So when I left, I took both sets of car keys, hers and mine, and called a tow truck to pick hers up later. 2 hours later, my phone started blowing up. Are you insane? How am I supposed to get home? You really left me here? Everyone's staring at me. I texted back one line. Should have thought about that before telling me to leave, sweetheart. Apparently, she had to wait until midnight for her dad to drive her home after everyone finished dessert. The next morning, her mom texted me a long message about how immature I was. I simply replied, boundaries aren't immaturity. Claire showed up at our apartment around noon, furious and embarrassed. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was? I looked up from my laptop and said calmly, now you know how I've felt every single time you laughed with them instead of standing by me. She didn't have a response, just stood there speechless, realizing that this time the joke wasn't on me. That night, she apologized, genuinely for the first time in years. Sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting or arguing. It's getting up, walking away, and letting the silence do the talking.